Action. Hi, I'm Mary Kuntz, and I'm sitting here today with Ann Olson from Olson Architecture. And chances are, if you live in a home or if you have walked into a store, your life has been affected by an architect. And chances are, if you live in the Front Range, your life has been affected by Olson Architecture. So, Ann, if you want to tell me a little bit about your company and where we are?
Well, we have been in business since '94 in Boulder area, in Boulder, Colorado. Our office is now in Niwot. We have an office of 6 people. We specialize in housing, and housing of all sizes and price ranges. Everything from entry-level, multifamily, to multi-million-dollar custom. And we love working on housing.
Great, great. So, if you're listening to this video, you're probably interested in building a home, or maybe you're in the process. So where you need to begin is your builder, me, or your architect, or both. And a lot of people like to get online and check out the plans online. I don't really advise getting online for your architectural plans in the end, but it's a great place to get some ideas. But I want to talk to Ann today about what she suggests. How do you choose an architect?
The most important thing that we find is that you build a good team. Whether you start with your builder or you start with your architect, either one is a good place to start. If you start with your architect will be able to recommend a number of builders. Or start with a couple of architects and interview both of them. Find somebody that you have a good relationship and they can recommend. Once you select an architect, they can select a builder. Or start with your builder. If you have your builder in mind, your builder can suggest architects that they've worked with in the past that you can interview, and then you build your team that way. That team is the most important thing, and we won't go past the first phase of design without having a builder on board, because it acts as a good check and balance. You know that your house is going to be in your budget. You know that it's the level of finish and the level of detail that you want. There are a lot of good architects, there are a lot of good builders. When you start with an architect through the process, you're going to be married to your architect for a short period of time.
No doubt about it.
But then you go to phase 2 when you're in the building process and you are really married to your builder. So it is so important that you find somebody that you can work with, that you have a good relationship with. And that team working together gives you the best end result.
Yeah, I would agree. The relationship is key. And there's nothing worse than a builder who is fighting with the architect, or the architect that is fighting with the builder. You know, the old story, they are throwing them under the bus. Everybody needs to work together, because if you're divided, that's not the best interest of the client. There's no doubt about that. What happens quite often on a job site is the builder will be on site, they're working from the architect's plans, the homeowner comes out, and they take a look at what's going on. They say, well, shoot, can I add a window here? Mm-hmm. And the builder says, sure, and goes ahead and adds the window without contacting the architect. Well, the entire feel of the house can change because you don't know what's in the architect's mind. So that's very important. Everybody needs to communicate, communication. As we've said a million times, nobody died and it can be fixed. A lot of things come up on a job. But if you've got a good team, everybody's going to back each other up and work in homeowner's best interest.
And on a custom home, it's a very back and forth process. The changes happen in the field. Mm-hmm. Something comes up, or you find a new product that you want to use, say they have different size fireplace. That being able to be flexible in the process. But if everybody's in communication, then you don't make any mistakes. You didn't put a new window in where that was planned to be a specific furniture wall, things like that. If everybody's in communication, then changes can be made throughout the process to make the home work better for that particular home buyer, and it isn't the end of the world.
Right. So let's say somebody's watching this. They say, gee, I like Ann, but what do you consider your specialty? What's your niche?
We understand the way families live.
Mm-hmm.
Our specialty, I wouldn't say that we have a style.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody told me this quote a long time ago, that custom work is portrait work. It's not a portrait of the architect, it's not a portrait of the builder, it's a portrait of the family that's going to live there.
That's a great way to put it.
And I love that.
That's a really good way to put it.
When we end up, if you look at our website, our houses don't look all the same, but our custom homes are portraits of the families that hired us to do that job. And we understand the way families live, and we're really good at designing homes that work for that particular family.
That's great. And the plans that I've reviewed with you and the work I've seen, it doesn't matter really, well, it does matter somewhat, but the size, it's amazing what you can fit into a smaller home, because more and more people now want to downsize,
Right.
but they don't want to give up their usable space as far as number of bedrooms and that kind of thing.
I do a lot of speaking to builders and homeowners about ways to make your floor plans more livable, ways to make them work for your family. A lot of speaking on what women want in a house, whether it's that storage or the mud room, how the office works, how an office works for her. That's a big part of what we design into the house.
Yeah, that's great. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I can't, but I wouldn't emphasize enough that team is so important, and getting the team on board early on so that everybody is working together is a really important step.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think most people are afraid that if they hire an architect, it's going to cost them a lot of money. However, what we have found is if you do your diligence up front and you get the design, it's going to save you in the long run.
Right.
Whether it's your upfront cost or whether it's your entire lifestyle or when you go to resell that house.
And the house just works better for your family, whether it's for your particular site, for your views, for the way your family lives.
Right.
If it's not something that's just pulled off the shelf.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, well, thanks, Ann.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it is. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.